Yo, what is good everyone? My name is Yash. I'm the founder at SARAL, which is the simplest influencer marketing tool in the whole world wide web. And today, I'm here to show you how you can win with our influencer outreach secrets. Now, here's why you should watch this video to the very end. Most brands whom I talk to, and I've spoken to hundreds of them, they get maybe 10% response rates when they reach out to influencers. So if they reach out to 100 influencers, they get maybe 10 of them to reply to them. With these secrets that I'm just about to tell you in this 5-minute video, you're going to learn how we get 40% response rates with those same 100 emails sent to those same creators. So learn all my secrets, and if you don't have 5 minutes to squeeze like 400% more juice from your influencer outreach, then why are you even building a brand? Anyway, let's begin with the influencer outreach secrets masterclass. So the first question that's in everybody's head is, should we DM them or should we email them? Now, it doesn't have to be an either or equation. What most brands do is they do the opposite of what works. What they do is they just send DMs to hundreds of influencers, and they rarely get 5% response rates, if that, from DMs. Now, I'm gonna boil it down into exactly when you should DM and when you should email. You simply look at their follower count. If they have less than 10,000 followers, it's likely that they will see your DM and your DM will get responded to. So if they have 10k followers, you DM them, but you also email them. The email is the foundation of your influencer program. Remember this, guys. Influencers are creators. They are in the business to make money from their audience. Yes, they're creative, but everybody wants to put food on their plate, right? Business does not happen in the DMs. Business happens over email, as we all know. So if less than 10k, DM them, follow up with an email. If more than 10k, don't even bother DMing them, because your DM is going to land inside of their request folder, which has their fans, which has their haters, which has spam DMs, and your DM is just going to get lost. It's very hard to get noticed if an influencer is bigger than like even 7 or 8,000 followers. So if more than 10k, just don't bother, email them. And one more thing you can do, here's to all my social media marketers who are watching this, engage in the comments to get their attention. Comments are way better, like 10 times better to get someone's attention than DMs. If you leave a thoughtful comment and add a PS, hey, emailed you yesterday, that's gonna get their attention way quicker than any DM with any fancy copy that you send them. Alright? Now that we've settled the DM or email debate, let's move on to the next topic in this process, which is finding their emails. Now, there are multiple ways you can find someone's email, and I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna show you the free ways to do it, the slightly manual ways to do it, and the paid but faster ways to do it. And I'm also gonna show you a quick demo of our tool in that process. So, you could use database tools which are paid. So you could use something like a SARAL. I'm not going to dive into super detail here, but you could just search for, we have a database of 100 million and more creators counting every single day. So you could just like search for creators using our platform and get their information over here. But this is obviously a paid tool, and you might not want to do that. So we also have a free option. What you can do is use a free Chrome extension, just like SARAL. There are a couple of others out there. In terms of Chrome extensions, what I recommend personally, because we built it, is SARAL. I've used the other ones, they're not that great. So what you can do, for example, is you will go on Instagram. Let's say you're a skincare brand. You would search for a hashtag such as hashtag skincare routine. Let's see which influencer. This one looks like she's promoting a product. So I go to her profile, and then I simply click on this Chrome extension over here, and it analyzes all of her details in real time. None of this is like a database that we have. It's all in real time analysis and shows you a bunch of metrics that you won't get otherwise. Their engagement rate, their diehard fans, which is a metric that only we have, right? Diehard fans is kind of like a proxy for click-through rate. A fair fee to pay them. Usually you'll have a question of like, how much do we pay them if we want to pay them for a post? And this also scrapes their email and saves it inside of SARAL. So if you want to use this free Chrome extension, it's out there. I'll leave a link in the description. But let's get back to our masterclass. So you can use free Chrome extensions. You can use database tools. Some examples over here. Again, I recommend SARAL, or you could do it manually. Now, the way to do it manually is If you're a new brand, I understand you might not want to sign up for a tool right away. That's completely okay. What you can do is on Instagram, there is an email button inside the app. Instagram is a real pain in the ass about this. You cannot find their email on desktop. It has to be on a mobile device inside the Instagram app. So you go to the profile, find the email button, click on the email, it'll show you their email, right? Copy that into a Google Sheet or paste it into SARAL if you're using SARAL. For TikTok, it's usually in their bio, so you can just copy it from web, much easier. YouTube, you gotta go to their about section, solve a CAPTCHA, and find their email. So it's slightly like, it depends what you have more of. If you've got the cash, but not too much time, then opt for a database tool. If you've got more time and less cash, let's say you just started your brand, then you got to do it manually. There's no other option. If you're somewhere in the middle, something like a free Chrome extension might help you too. So at this point, we know whether we're DMing them or emailing them. We now have their emails. What's the next obvious step? Is to do the actual outreach. Now, the actual outreach, there's two components to it. First one is the tools that you use to send outreach. Next one is the email copy. Now, some like new people in my audience would say, hey, like what's the tool? I just like email them one-on-one, right? So, well, yes, that's one strategy. You just raw dog that shit, send emails one by one through your Gmail. Or if you're smart about it, you could also use mail merge tools like Yet Another Mail Merge, Gmass, there's a couple of them. But sometimes these land in spam, so be careful with mail merge. So you could either raw dog it or use a mail merge tool, or you could use protection like you should and use SARAL to send cold emails to influencers. We built our technology to mimic the way you would send those emails one by one. So at the back end, what happens is we are actually sending those emails one by one, but what you do is you simply create a template, add all the follow-ups, and send it to us, and we do all the manual work through technology. So this is like a really, really robust tool. I'm really proud of what we've done with this one. So you can personalize it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to give you a complete demo, but there is an email tool that's built into SARAL, which you can use to also automate your follow-up. So I again recommend either using mail merge if you're new, but don't send a high volume of email through mail merge, or you're going to land in spam. Once you start scaling slightly above like 20 or 30 emails a day, you gotta move to SARAL, which is gonna happen fairly fast if you're scaling. But now let's move on to what do you actually send. Tools are fine, it's all tactic, it's good. Now, what do you write in the email copy? So I've broken it down into a 5-part framework for how you should structure your email. Like if you're watching till here, like you're already like ahead of 80% of the brands, and if you watch till the end, you're going to be ahead of like most brands who do this, because nobody knows this stuff until we introduce it to their brand. So here's how it works, right? You lead with personalization. What does that mean? You write something like, hey, saw your post about X, or hey, love your philosophy on Y, something like that. Right? You lead with personalization, so the influencer thinks that you've actually done your research, and you have to do your research if you want them to reply. You can't send a generic template to every single influencer and expect them to respond to you. Then you tie the first, again, there has to be continuity in the email. It cannot be disjoint sentences. So then in the next line, you explain how what you observed links to your brand. So don't just observe random shit. Observe something that's relevant to your brand. So for example, if your brand is into, let's say, organic skincare, then you can notice something like, hey, noticed your holistic skincare, notice the post about your holistic skincare routine. Our brand stands for organic minimal skincare. So something like, you can tie it in so the sentence is a natural flow. So then lead with personalization, explain how that personalization, what you observed, ties into the mission of your brand. Lead with the mission. What did Simon Sinek say? Start with why. So you do that with your influencer emails as well. Then you appeal to audience interest. What does that mean? Say something like, hey, our customers are loving product for this benefit. Or would it be fair to say that your fans would love this? Something like, hey, this is our brand, this is our product, and your fans might like this. So you're already creating demand in their head about their fans are going to buy your product, and then they're going to make money. Then you prime it with audience interest, then you appeal to self-interest, and then you say something like, here's how much our past ambassadors are making, or here's the commission we're offering like 25% commissions, would you be interested? right? And then that is the final step, which is a soft CTA. Most brands mess this up. This is the key. So you could get everything right and mess this up and nobody's going to reply to you. You got to have what's known as a soft call to action. What does that mean? It means you got to write something like, hey, is it worth exploring a collab? Do you mind if I send more info? Like, and then they'll be like, yeah, sure, like I don't mind if you send more info. But if you write something like, hey, are you free for a call next week at this time? They're going to be like, who's this random dude asking me for a call? They're just gonna not reply to you, right? So if you write something like, hey, are you open to collabs? Then they're like, yeah, like I'm always open to collabs, tell me more. So you get the conversation started. The point with the first email is to get the conversation started. Now, this is another important piece in the equation, which is follow-ups. So most brands just send one email and expect replies. That does not work. So what you need to do is you got to have a follow-up sequence that goes after 3 days, after 7 days, after 10 days, after 12 days. You got to follow up at least 4 times over email before you stop. And usually I don't recommend following more than 5 or 6 times unless you want to get blocked. So after 3 days, what you can follow up with is just say, hey, here's more details on our program. Here's how you can, here's how you can make more money, something like that. Like, hey, we're offering X% commissions, Y% discounts, and we'll send you XYZ in swag. And would you like to work together? Something like that, right? After 7 days, re-emphasize 3 key things. What's in it for me? What's in it for my fans? And why should I work with your brand over others? So you're answering these questions for the influencer. And we'll dive into these strategies in another video. This is just a summary of our process. After 10 days, you don't necessarily have to email them. You can just DM. If they're less than 10K, then DM them. If they're higher than 10K, comment. After 12 days, you can add some social proof to the equation. Show other creators working with you. Now, obviously, if you're new, you're doing this for the first time, you cannot do this. What has worked in the past is like, hey, we are really looking to work with or vegan skincare creators. Would you be interested? So like really appeal to what their core niche is. Then after 20 days, send them what's called a breakup email. Now, a breakup email is basically, hey, I've been emailing you for the last 20 days. I don't know if you've been ignoring me or if you've been just missing my emails. Whatever it is, I'm going to stop following up now. But if it is of any interest at this point or in the future, please reach out to me. Something like that. You just like say, hey, okay, it's fine. I understand you don't want to reply. I'm just not going to follow up now. Follow-ups are extremely critical, and you can, like I said, automate all of that with SARAL. Finally, you should have a DM strategy, pretty similar to the email strategy. What you should do is you should have a subject line to your DM. Now, what does that mean? The first 25 characters that show up in the first sentence of the email, right? So inside of Instagram, the first 25 characters show up before they open it. So you got to make it a little bit curiosity inducing. So, hey, saw your post. So they think, like, what did they see in my post? Like, what are they saying? Emailed you an offer. They're like, I didn't see this email. Let me check this DM. Right? Am I wrong to assume? They'd be like, what's this guy saying? Right? So be like curiosity inducing. These are just some of the hooks that we use. In terms of your copy, make it very similar to make the structure lead with personalization, explain your brand mission, appeal to their audience and self-interest, and then lead with a soft CTA. Usually with DMs, make your CTA like, hey, let's take this conversation over email. You don't want to like confirm anything over DM, because obviously DMs are also not legally binding, but emails are. So once you agree, once you set an agreement, it's better to always have that on email. So yeah, like I said, always have a soft CTA or just ask for their email in the DM if they're interested. So all of our influencer outreach secrets, you just went through all of this with me. I really appreciate your time. If you want a tool that automates outreach for you, does the follow-ups for you, reminds you to follow up with people, all the good stuff, then there is a link to a 7-day free trial to the software SARAL, and you can always download the Chrome extension for free and start using it to analyze the metrics of different creators that you want to reach out to. So any way that I can help, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna do one video every single week with all of this core influencer marketing secrets that no agency is gonna reveal to you. So definitely consider signing up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.